we're rolling. So this is like not a part 2 but a follow up from the David Beckham Instinct EDT. This is David Beckham Intimately. Now at first when I picked this up, I thought that this was like a female version of the Instinct, because as far as I'm aware, there isn't a female like for like of that, i.e. with the same name. So sometimes they'll bring out something that sounds similar, i.e. the Instinct Intimately. But I was kind of wrong, because again, I don't want to say this smells like unisex, but it's kind of a mixture of things, but it's not as manly, masculine, strong, as projecting and as radiant as this one. So this I gave a 7 out of 10 in a previous video. Where this one, it's not that it's bad. I'm going to go over the notes. It's just not as good. It's just not as good as the other one. I'll go through the notes and my thoughts, and obviously spraying the skin. This is the format I keep, and then I'll give an overall rating at the end. So with this one, so Intimately David Beckham, top notes: cardamom, bergamot, grapefruit. So in comparison, it's very similar to the original. The heart, star anise, nutmeg and violet. So I know already that nutmeg and violet are in there that aren't in the other version. So it is a different formula. It does smell different as well. Not dramatically, because there are lots of similar ingredients in there. And then the end, amber, sandalwood, patchouli. And I don't think white amber, patchouli, vetiver in the original. So similar profiles, different smell. So I'm going to put it on the skin, try and cut the chase with this one, because again, I already, without jumping the gun, giving it away if I was to buy either or, and the prices are basically similar. So again, 10 to 20 pound, like the Instinct, from anywhere from a 7500 and 25ml. I would say for this is the one I'd recommend, the David Beckham Instinct, which we mentioned in another video, but we're going to be reviewing the Intimately, which is the same price range. 10 to 20 pound for a 75ml. I wasn't able to track down or look for bigger sizes. This is 75ml. So I'm talking to let this kind of settle, because again, both of these and most EDTs, you apply it to the skin, you get a big burst of fragrance. They're very powerful, and that's what most people that's what they smell. So the minute you put something on, and people, like a room filler, shall we say, it just, everybody smells it. But the reason why mostly people buy EDPs, and why I usually recommend an EDP, is because they're longer lasting, they last longer on the skin. They don't just settle as quickly to a skin scent as an EDT. But as I've mentioned, and I keep mentioning, there are actually some decent EDTs, which aren't just ones I've discovered, but there's some that I've actually smelt on people, or when I've spoke to them about, like, oh, how long does it last on your skin, blah blah blah. But it's few and far between. So anyway, without further ado, sort of dried down a bit, we're going to go in for a closer inspection. Yeah, it's okay. It's just, having smelt the David Beckham Instinct, it's got like what's the word? Like trace elements and that DNA, which is very pleasant. But there's something in it that, again, I mentioned this with the Diesel Bad Intense more recently. It's kind of jarring. I don't know what it is, particular ingredient, but it's just, it's wearable. But I'll be honest, I'll just give it like a pure 5 out of 10. I just think it's very average. In comparison, especially as the prices are the same between the Instinct and Intimately, and having already reviewed the Instinct, I couldn't recommend this over the Instinct. Again, for my personal taste, someone could put this on and hate the Instinct and like this one, but I just don't think it's weird. It's like, it's following that trend of that same DNA of, like, you get the image of going out, doing yourself up, doing your hair nice, taking a lady for a meal, or a man, or whatever you're into, but it just falls down, in my opinion. It doesn't, it just smells ordinary. It just smells like, again, like, and I don't want to say cheap, because It's almost because, again, if you hadn't smelt David Beckham Instinct, and as I said previously, draw comparisons to original Dolce and Gabbana, it has that quality, the booziness, the masculine power. It projects really well. With this one, it doesn't project or radiate as well off the skin as the David Beckham Instinct, and even though the price is the same, the performance is probably about the same. I'm not going to say that it's better or worse, they're about the same. But again, I couldn't really recommend this over the Instinct, which I gave a 7 out of 10. So this is going to be a 5 out of 10 for me. It's wearable. Again, it's cheap, but I just feel if you wanted to buy a cheapie, or was classed as a cheapie, i.e. anywhere from like 10 to 15, £20, and you get like 100 ml of it, maybe. But again, I'm being truthful and being honest. I've done a lot of fragrance reviews more recently, and there's been a lot better. Yeah, you pay more money, but they offer so much more. They're more versatile. With this one, I would say there's just something in it which doesn't agree to me. Hence why it's like, it's still there. It lingers. There's parts of this I like, which is similar to the DNA of the Instinct, but it just doesn't compute with my personal taste. So again, to kind of take this one home, to finish this off, David Beckham Intimately, 5 out of 10. If you saw it for like a 5 or a tenner, it's wearable. I'm not going to say it's like pond water or disgusting. It's wearable, but I just feel if you were to buy, if you wanted to spend or buy a David Beckham one that I've used, just pay the same money and get this one. It smells a lot classier. It projects better, radiates off of my skin at least. So yeah, I'll end on that. 5 out of 10, David Beckham Intimately. Shame really, it's just that I saw it and I just thought, yeah, I'll just mix it up. I'll try something a bit different. And this was a while ago, several years ago. But yeah, since then I've tried a lot better, and even before I've used better EDTs. So yeah, I'm going to end that there. 5 out of 10, David Beckham Intimately. Can't really recommend it, but if you do see it and you got a 5 or 10 a spare and you just want to try it, then maybe, maybe not.